Hi everyone. In this video, we'll be incorporating Keyri QR login into an application that uses Amazon Cognito for user management, user authentication, and session management. This application spans a web app and a mobile app. This video will cover creating the web app and specifically incorporating the Keyri QR login functionality into the web app. A second video will focus on incorporating the Keyri QR login SDK into an iOS application. This particular example uses Next.js, but the general principles and much of the code are applicable to any web framework. The bulk of our work will focus on the content component, which basically covers this area. Obviously, it includes some text here, which will be dynamic, and it includes the Keyri QR login widget. It also contains pretty much all of our business logic for handling the login process. Let's get started. First, we'll set up the main business logic for actually handling the QR login process. Ancillary functions will follow. We're passing in the payload that comes out of the Keyri QR widget. Into this function, we're passing the payload that comes out of the Keyri QR widget that ultimately originates from your mobile application that has the Amazon Cognito mobile SDK installed. This payload includes the ID token and access token provided by Amazon Cognito. So in this piece, we will be decoding the ID token that's passed in, which is just a JWT that includes some user information like username, email address, phone number, etc. Here what we're doing is we're basically separating the payload into its constituents, namely the ID token and access token, and we're setting them into local storage. And that is kind of our form of session persistence. In this very simple application, though, really all we care about are the states that we're setting here. And these are what will render on our single page application the person's username. Now we need to add a use effect to basically set up a event listener that listens for events emitted from the Keyri QR widget. Basically, when it's scanned by your mobile application, the Keyri widget will emit an event that includes, among other things, the payload. And that's our use effect and event listener setup. In line 20 here, we're basically screening for all events that come from the Keyri widget. So the event will have the type of Keyri, there will be data within this event, and the origin will be the web page rather than, for example, a browser extension. Now let's set up the actual JSX to render this page. Now here is where we're actually setting up the Keyri QR widget, and that takes the form of an iframe. And to serve up that iframe, the Keyri widget code has to be present on the same domain as your web page, as where this component is being served. So in this case, we've put an HTML file into the public directory here, and this is all it is. Obviously, no need to actually write this all out. You can get this entire file by going to the Keyri documentation, coming down here to the browser page, and finding the HTML file here. That's all you need to do is copy this and add it to your public folder. Now let's add the iframe. The source will have to point at your public directory. And that's it for actually incorporating the Keyri QR widget. And you'll see here that there is some styling that we've done. The only thing that's really strictly necessary, as in something that you should do according to this guide, is set scrolling to no. Everything else, like frame borders and heights and widths and so on, can be customized however you'd like. And that's it. With this, your entire content component is set up and fully responsive to the logged in state. That's it for this video. You can find the link to the GitHub repository for this project in the description below. Please stay tuned for part 2 where we discuss the mobile app component. Thank you.